Hello and welcome back to Bookish Brits. My name is Michelle and today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about books and film adaptations. Now I know that 2014 is a wonderful year for book adaptations. There are so many coming out or that are already out that are very exciting. Something that I keep coming across is this idea that everyone has to read a book before they see a film version of the book, and while I usually do agree with that statement, I don't always. Today I thought I would run you through my top 5 books in which I saw the film version first. Okay, so let's get right into my top 5. Now these are in no particular order, I really enjoy them all. I'm going to start with this one first because I actually haven't read the book as yet. I watched The Book Thief, the recent film adaptation, and I thought it was really sweet. There was a lot to the story that I enjoyed. I loved hearing about Liesel's journey into literacy. I really liked her relationships with Max and Rudy and her adoptive parents, and I think that it's finally given me the push that I need in order to tackle this book. I left the cinema really excited to pick up this book and read it, and I hadn't been excited to do that in a really long time. Next up, I haven't got the jacket cover or whatever, but it's Exodus by Leon Uris. I saw that this book had a film adaptation with a very young Paul Newman in it, and just randomly one day I saw that it was on one of our movie channels and I decided to watch it, and it was so very good. I was really wrapped up in the story. It's the story about Israel's independence and formation as its own country, and it kind of focuses on these two brothers who have differing views about how this independence should be won. And you know, I mean, as a teenager I really loved the love story angle to it, but I've reread it as an adult and I really appreciated all of the historical detail to it and the amount of information about the Jewish religion and seeing all of these different places that are very important, and especially all the hard work that these people do in order to create a land that would be livable for them. And it's really good, and I'm so glad that I tried it out, and I'm glad that I was able to find a film, the film that really hooked me in as well. Now the next one is Gone with the Wind by Margaret Mitchell. I loved the film adaptation. I just love Vivien Leigh and Clark Gable, and they're just so wonderful. But I mean, look at this book. It's massive. I've never really considered actually picking up the book and reading it until, you know, it got to be like the 5th, 6th, 9th, 10th time that I was watching this film, and I realized, you know, actually, why don't I pick it up and read it? And it's one of my favorites. I had to go out and buy a hardback copy of it when I was younger. I carded it from the United States here. I still have it. I still love it. There's so much to it with the friendships and, you know, all of this detail about the American Civil War, which I found really interesting. Coming up very soon, Leanne from Literary Diversions is hosting a Gone with the Wind read-along, so I'll leave the link down below. You should definitely check that out. Now the next book that I want to talk to you about is actually my favorite book in the entire world, and that is The Power of One by Bryce Courtenay. I actually watched the film version of this book when I was a teenager, and I really loved it. It's starring Morgan Freeman and Stephen Dorff and I believe Daniel Craig. Like, really horrifying in bits and also hopeful and beautiful, and I really wanted to know more about everything that was going on. And you know, this is the story about a boy growing up in South Africa during the time of apartheid. What I loved so much about this book was the characters and the situations that they're in. I mean, this boy faces so much racial hatred, and he's just so wonderful, and some of the people that he meets are amazing, and it really just is. It's still one of my favorite books in the entire world. And the fifth and final book that I wanted to talk to you about today is actually the book that is the basis of my absolute favorite film adaptation in the entire world, and that is The Princess Bride by William Goldman. I remember watching this film as a child, and it was just so great. There's so many different things that I love about this book. I love how funny it is, and it's romantic and adventurous, and it really is one of those books that just everybody can find some aspect of it to love, even if it is a kissing book. I think that the film version has some amazing, memorable lines to it, some really great characters. So that's it, that's my list. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this topic. I'd love to hear of any books you read because of a film, what your favorite film adaptations are, what are you most looking forward to this year. Leave comments down below, I'd love to hear from you, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel as well. Thank you so much for watching, see you next time.